All right, it is time for our first hot topic, and the Sarasota County Commission rejected a ban on recreational marijuana for now. So they didn't mean to reject the ban. When the commission went to vote on an amendment, a public speaker pointed out after several hours of discussion that the ordinance inadvertently outlawed the sale of CBD oil and hemp products. Those are legally sold over the counter. So now the county has to correct the language in order to correctly ban recreational marijuana, then revote. That could have been a big oops.
Yes.
And upset a lot of businesses.
There's a lot. I mean, you can tell just by driving around and looking around, there are a ton of CBD stores all over the Suncoast. That would have been very, very bad.
And they almost banned it.
Yes.
Because of a typo.
Yes.
Like that's, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of not funny in that, read every word carefully. I'm sure this holds true in every business, but especially when you're voting on policy.
And there's a lot of younger people that are moving back to the Suncoast from other areas, Colorado, no surprise, because it is now becoming a budding industry.
No
CBD.
pun intended.
I know, I was thinking.
That was a good one.
You like that one?
So you can put that in your jokes.
There you go. Got one.
So, can you imagine how bad that would have been for them? I mean, it is, I know that people are divided on this topic and it's not going to go away for sure, but it is bringing people to the Suncoast to start and continue businesses.
I'm not saying a word.
Well, I think the point of the matter is, we can all joke about, policy and amendment and, paperwork and legal documents, but one word makes a very, very big difference. So, and the commission said, whoa, wow, this was bad. We didn't mean to do this, and thanked the audience for catching it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
It took somebody in the audience to catch it,
Right.
and a couple hours in.
Honestly, it scared me a little bit. It made me wonder what things I've signed that I missed a word in and
Yes.
looped myself into. So.
Terms of service, it's the biggest lie they say when
Yeah.
you click and say, I have read the terms of service.
Right.
No one does.
Except
one of those old-fashioned people that still doesn't want recreational marijuana, but I certainly do want it for health reasons. I certainly do want it for health reasons. So I don't think it should get all mixed up.
Right.
And
read
it's
the
easy
fine
to do
print.
that.
Would be the moral of the story. Read the fine print.
Yes.
So Starbucks is known for having great employee benefits, and they are now lending more of a helping hand to parents. The coffee giant will now offer daycare help when a regular parenting plan falls through. So Starbucks will provide 10 subsidized backup daycare days at $5 a day cost. So this is available to all employees, regardless of how much they work. Listen to this, less than 5% of all companies offer any type of child care support. Say what you will about the coffee giant. I know not everybody's a fan, but
This is amazing.
yes,
I
from
mean,
a parent point of view to have a backup plan.
Yeah, because when that plan falls through, I mean, for so many people, what do? You can't go to work. I mean, you can't just leave your child alone.
So obviously the company gets it's going to benefit them
Yeah.
to not have employees calling out.
Yeah.
But why doesn't everybody get that?
Yeah.
And everybody's going to want to work there. I was just thinking that might be good for you, Kathy, part-time.
Kathy, do you need another job?
I'm full. I know no more jobs. I'm good,
Part-time is
thanks.
key because that is going to hold true for their part-time workers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because lots of moms could use a little extra money and need an extra job, but
Sure.
that child care balance is difficult.
I mean, when you weigh some of these companies like Starbucks, Costco, Trader Joe's, they have so many great employee benefits that it ends up being a better job in some cases than a higher paying job with less benefits. Like, I joke all the time, but like my go-to plan is I'm going to go to Costco. Some weeks it's Starbucks, some weeks it's Trader Joe's. But like, and you see a lot of people, especially here on the Suncoast, you look and a lot of people professionals who are like, no, I like working here. I like how I work. I like how they treat me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, those benefits can make such a huge
Yes,
difference.
absolutely.
And they're worth a lot more money than it looks like sometimes on paper.
Well, they get better educated employees, classier employees.
Happier employees.
Yes.
If you know that your kid is sick and you don't have to worry about it, the last thing you want, like you say, is an employee who's there who has a sick kid at home, but they had to show up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and the lack of stress, the peace of mind, it's priceless. It's worth way more than an extra dollar here or there.
Exactly.
So
Way to go, Starbucks.
good for them. So our online shopping habits are being blamed for the demise of yet another tradition, grabbing a candy bar from the checkout line. So candy company Hershey says sales are down because we are checking out online and not in stores where impulse candy purchases happen at the register. I've not thought of this before, and it's fascinating. Now Hershey is trying to determine the digital equivalent and maybe have sweets pop up on your screen as you check out there. Okay, that is not going to work, right? I
No.
mean, we want it right now when we want it.
you a
Yeah, you're
minute
not
to
going to
think.
order it.
Yeah, this is not a bad thing. We didn't need all those candy
Oh,
bars.
I don't know. There was some kind of sweet, just haha, about the concept of, that would be really good. That would be
Yeah.
really good right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not just candy. I mean, I buy almonds sometimes too. You know, if you just need a little
Right,
something and you're standing right there, I almost feel bad for companies that was a big
Yeah.
source.
I don't think I've ever bought. I don't think I've ever bought a candy bar, but a magazine. I
Yeah.
can see
Oh,
what that
yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
Joey, I told you she was going to say that. And that was my exact
She did,
quote.
she did.
Kathy's never have bought a candy bar because
No.
Kathy's very health conscious.
But it's true. If you look at different stores, the impulse buys in the aisle are a little different. Like Walmart, it's more like USB cables and quick little
Yeah.
Right, chapstick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or tech stuff. So it is funny that now that's changing the way we spend.
Now, as a parent, I am thrilled to buy things online and not have the argument with the young children
Yeah,
about
they
why.
certainly want all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's a great reason why you don't have to go to the big box stores as much. And I ship all sorts of things, including toilet paper and paper
Yeah.
towels home
Yeah.
because I don't have to take kids. And I'd love not seeing a candy aisle then.
Didn't they have those lines for a while?
Yeah,
where
where there
there
were none of-
there's no candy. So and
I
you're
didn't
like,
know
why does
that.
that have such a long line with parents and kids? It's because there was no candy in those lines.
That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Well, and also, like, I order my groceries and then I go and pick them up at the store, and there's no impulse buys there either. You know,
Right.
you don't grab any of that stuff.
And I think you probably are saving money at
Oh,
some stores
definitely.
as a result because we all impulse buy.
Target, who goes in for one
Exactly.
thing? You come out with a sweater and bins. or
Yeah.
something.
I'm like Kathy. I'm reading the National Enquirer. I would never buy it. I'd be embarrassed. But I read it all if I'm in a long line
I do the
before
same
I get
thing.
up there.
Yeah. It's funny how things have changed. So we know the working mom juggle is a tough one. So TV meteorologist Susie Martin showed how she multitasks by wearing her son to work. No, her babysitter did not cancel. She actually did this as part of promoting International Baby Wearing Week. It's the first week in October. Experts say this is a comfort and a consolation to a child that needs closeness while it still gives parents two hands to complete tasks. Not necessarily, obviously, at the office. And the social media response to this was all positive. I admit to being a huge baby wearer.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I
Like
wore
my
them in.
Moby wrap. That's what she's got on right now.
Is that what that one is? And I wore a baby Bjorn. I wore them in front, facing in, then facing out.
Oh, I didn't wear one, but I took her to work with me when she was about 3 or 4 months old, and she would just sit in the control room with the director while I was on the air.
In the car seat.
In the car seat,
Yeah.
sitting on the shelf, and I
Yep.
was out there doing the weather.
You probably started making calls
Look
by
what
that point.
happened.
Hey, you might want to take that video instead of that one.
That could explain her language. The fact that she was exposed to that at such an early age.